Elgamal crypto system is an public key encryption algorithm or an asymmetric key encryption algorithm proposed by Elgamal in 1985. And this is based on Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So if you have understood Diffie-Hellman, this will be very simple. So in Diffie-Hellman, we have seen how to create shared secret keys over an insecure channel, and that is applicable when two parties who can never meet and they want to share a key, and they can achieve that using Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Now we are going to use the same concept of Diffie-Hellman, and we'll be seeing how to encrypt and decrypt. We'll see a crypto system based on Diffie-Hellman, and that is called Elgamal. It was proposed in 1985. Let's see how this algorithm works. And the steps in Elgamal crypto system, we have three steps: generate keys, encryption, and decryption. What is generate keys? We have to generate public key and private key first. These two keys should be generated. Once public key is generated, it should be shared with all of them, right? And encryption, say some user B wants to send a message, he will use this public key and encrypt and send it. Decryption, the private key will be used for decrypting. That's it. So now we'll understand Elgamal crypto system using a visualization as we did for Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Let's go in for this visualization now. So we have two agents, agent X and agent Y. Say both of them belong to country X. This guy belongs to country X and this guy belongs to country X. And they are hiding in country Y, and they want to secretly communicate through an encryption and decryption strategy. And while they are communicating, they have to use this insecure channel. What is insecure communication channel? Wherein the others can be listening or scanning for the communication that is happening. So let's say that this person who is called as the enemy of these two agents, he is from country Y. So these spies are hiding in country Y and then want to just sniff out or get some information. So this enemy is an enemy to these two agents and he is from country Y. And this person is scanning this insecure communication channel. So if they communicate something, and you'll be able to note what is that communication. So now we'll see how we can use Elgamal to encrypt something over this insecure channel and still be safe. So this area is called agent X private area. So whatever I'm going to write here will be known only to agent X. Whatever I'm going to write here will be known only to agent Y. So let us start this step. The very first step is agent X will start the process. He has to publish the keys, public and private keys. So for that, he selects a prime number. The prime number should be normally 300, 200 to 300 digits. You think of such a large prime number. But for understanding, we are taking P to be 13 and generator G to be 2. What is generator? Primitive root. Or in some places, they say primitive element. In some books, they say generator G. So 2 is a primitive root of 13. And we should also ensure that GCD of 2 and 13 is 1, or GCD of G and P is 1. This is another condition. So I have taken 2 and 13, so GCD is 1. So we are fine here. Next, this agent selects a secret value D. So this secret value is very private to this user, and the value of D should be between 2 and P minus 2. We have selected 3 here. So 3 is very well greater than equal to 2 and less than equal to P. P is 13 minus 2, 11. So this D he selects, and then he computes the value of E. E is nothing but G power D, generator power D mod P. Generator is 2, 2 power 3 mod 13. So you get 8. So E is equal to 8. So he computed E and he is publishing this public key. What is this public key? 13, the generator 2, and the value E is computed. That is the public key. Whereas private key is D. Whatever D value is selected from 2 to P minus 2, that is private key. I hope you are clear with this very simple steps. Take a prime number generator, GCD of prime and generator should be 1, and you select a D which is secret, which lies between 2 and P minus 2. You have selected 3, and then he is going to compute this. E is equal to G power D mod P, that is 8. Now he puts a public key as 13, generator 2, and the value is computed. The private key D is very much secure and it's only known to agent X. Now this enemy who is seriously scanning gets to know the public key. Agent Y also somehow knows the public key. Now agent Y wants to send a message to this guy. How he does that is, say agent Y wants to send a message 4. Let's assume a number he wants to send 4, some message 4 he wants to send to agent X. And this is the important criteria. M should be less than P. So this should be less than 13. He selects it that way. And now he selects K, a random integer. Any random integer he selects. K is very secret to agent Y. We have assumed K to be 7. And now he computes two values. One is Y1. Y1 is nothing but generator G, which is published by agent X. And G power K, K is 7, mod P, P is published by agent X, that is 13. So he computes Y1 to be 11. Again generator P, he gets it from the public key of this agent X. And 7 is some value, random value he selects. The next part is going to compute is Y2. Y2 is nothing but M. What is M? The value of our plain text message. Say you have a string, you convert that to an integer value. You take the ASCII value, you convert that. That's not a problem. Here we have taken 4, a very simple value. So 4 into, what is E? E is from the public key of user A. So E, K is whatever he has selected randomly. Mod P, P is again from the public key. So he computes y2 is equal to 4 into 8 power 7 mod 13. Y2 is equal to 7. Okay. Here the ciphertext contains two parts, y1 and y2. Okay. Agent Y sends this to agent X. And now what agent X does is he gets the ciphertext. This is actually the ciphertext. And he does something to decrypt it, that is given here. So he does this simple calculation, y2 star y1. y2 and y1 is available from the ciphertext. D, what is D? D is the private key. And he finds the inverse of y1 power D mod P. P is again from the public key. So it's nothing but 7 star 11 power 3, the inverse mod 13. 11 power 3 inverse is 8. So it's 7 into 8 mod 13, 56 mod 13, plain text is 4. So that's what the decryption is. And he was able to get the plain text message. Now let us look at our person who is scanning the communication. What all this guy knows? This guy knows y1, y2. He knows P, G, and E. Will he be able to get the plain text? So to compute the plain text, what he is going to do is he is going to substitute. He to say he has understood Elgamal's algorithm. So he substitutes, that is y2 is 7, right? He substitutes 7, and y1 power D is 11 for D, the whole inverse, mod P. P is also in public domain, so he knows this. So what is that he should know? D. D is actually very secret to agent X. This guy doesn't know what is D. So now we are exactly using the advantages of discrete logarithms. I told you when these numbers are very large, computing D is going to be almost impossible. So without knowing D, he will never be able to decrypt even when he knows all this information. So that is how it is purely based on Diffie-Hellman key exchange. And Diffie-Hellman key exchange is based on discrete logarithms. So Elgamal also uses the concept of discrete logarithms here. I hope you have understood how Elgamal works. So these are the steps. You can read the steps theoretically I have given. See how difficult it is to understand theory. That's why I put in some time to make that visualization. Or else my lecture would have been like this. Okay. So decryption also we have seen how to get the plain text. That's Elgamal.